Hello people of YouTube, I am John Morris of Prime Property Auctions. Usually we do a wee segment of Spotted on Rightmove, the subreddit. That bed looks difficult to get into. I always highlight properties that you as investors should be looking out for. So I think that would be a great Airbnb. And obviously, as an auction house, we have hundreds of potential investment opportunities. So today we're going to do a little segment of what's on my desk. Full disclosure, we are the property broker for the sellers in these specific properties. So we will get paid once the properties sell. I'm going to highlight to you potential investment opportunities, and if you want to buy them, you can do by going on primepropertyauctions.co.uk. Even if you're not looking to buy from Prime Property Auctions, I hope that this video provides you some value on how to value commercial properties, how to look at valuing residential properties, and what you should really be looking at when you're buying from any property sourcer or property company. And hopefully you are going to use Prime Property Auctions and not anybody else. This property is an end terraced house in the Loch Gelly, which is in the Kingdom of Fife. So as you can see from the photographs, it is a tired property. This is what is referred to as an executory case. Somebody was living here and has sadly passed away, and the person is now selling it on. So this obviously provides opportunity because it needs refurbishment. So if you're looking to buy and do up properties, so if you want to implement the buy, refurbish, refinance, properties that are a little bit tired, that could do with renovation, so painting, decorated, that's what you want to be looking out for. You want to add the value, and then once the property is worth more, you can refinance it, or you can flip it on, or you can rent it out and do whatever the hell you want. But this property, obviously, as you can see, the good size, obviously it does need refurbished. So some people, when they're looking to get onto the housing ladder, they can buy a property, live in it themselves, do it up, and then sell it on, which is a very good strategy. And I mean, the fact that you can get a 2-bedroom end terrace house for under £100,000 presents very good value. The resale value of this property, once done up, depending on the standard, is going to be between £125,000 to £140,000. With the amount of stuff that is in the property, you can either hire a removal company, or you can just hire a skip. Or what some people do is, if they've got a big van, they just throw everything into the van and then make trips to the dump. Depending on what council you're in, some dumps won't let commercial vehicles in. Oh no, this is classed as commercial waste. If you have a commercial vehicle, then maybe just hiring a skip might be cheaper. It's all about price. Is it going to be cheaper for you just to get one skip? Is it one skip's worth of stuff? Or would it be cheaper for you if you've already got a van, just to do a couple of runs back and forth? Moving on, property number 2. A commercial property in Shotts, Lanarkshire. This is what we're selling, this corner commercial unit. Let's see what's inside. Ooh, it's pokey. Hot and cold filled rolls. Right beside the train station, so there you go. So obviously this is quite a compact shop. It's very good if you're starting out as a business, getting somewhere that's affordable. If you're wanting to run your business out of it and it's an office, you'll have to rip out everything that's in it at the moment. But what this would go well as, obviously phone repair shops, vape shops, hairdressers and barbers. You could fit 2 or 3 stations in there. As a landlord picking up a property like this, they're usually very easy to rent, because the rental figure you're going to charge a potential tenant is not going to be massive, because it is quite a small unit. So if you're getting your phone shop, your vape shop, or a barber's in there, you're probably going to be charging them anywhere between £300, £450 a month. The guide price in this one is, I think it's what, 35. So say you bought it for £35,000, you get a tenant paying you £400 a month. So that's £4,800 per annum, divided by the guide price of £35,000. That would give you a gross rental yield of 13.7%, which is a pretty good return. Difficulty sometimes with these units is they can be higher turnover, but because, again, it's small, the rent's not massive, you always find somebody that wants to start a new business and take on a little shop like this and have a place outside of, say, their house to run a business from. Definitely looking at properties under the £40,000 mark, they can generate you a good return on your money. Let's move on to property number 3, Glasgow. Hamilton Gardens, Glasgow, G22. Which is the east end of Glasgow. Up and coming area. Oh, look at this. So this is a tenanted investment opportunity. So it will be sold with the tenants in situ, which is referred to as a turnkey investment. So ultimately, if you as a landlord want to buy a property, you don't want to have to do a refurb, you just want to make your money make money. Buying tenanted properties is a very good strategy. And then usually the market rent is a little bit higher when buying tenanted properties. So there's always that potential for rental growth as well. So with this one, I believe the market rent is a little bit higher than what it is. So it's currently tenanted at £618 a month, but market rent's £850. So there is a disparity there, but because of that, the seller is willing to take a discount from the value. So we got it on at a guide price of £85,000. Home Report's £115,000. So if you were to buy this property for £85,000, it's worth £115,000. So you are effectively buying that equity. Fair enough, you're getting a little bit lower rent, but you can obviously eke that up over the years that you own it. But this is a great opportunity. Buying tenanted properties should not be overlooked. Everybody always wants the sexy flips, the BRRRs, but sometimes just buying good, solid assets that have got tenants in that you're putting your money to work is a good way to do it. Especially if you can buy at discount, then you've already got that equity. Shall we move on to the last one? The Gallowgate, which is just near the Barras. So again, tenanted commercial property. This is an immediate cash flowing investment. So guide price of £85,000. It's currently tenanted at £900, which is high passing trade. So if you're buying commercial properties as well, what you want to look at is how busy are the streets? Because if you have a shop and it's in the arse end of nowhere, nobody's going to walk past it. Who's going to buy the stuff that that shop is selling? This area is very busy. People are always in and out the Gallowgate, so there's lots of people walking past this shop, which would be very good for. So again, so this one has a 10-year FRI lease, full repairing and insuring lease. So the tenant of this property has agreed that they will be in there for 10 years. So they signed the lease in November 2023. So they will be in there till November 2033. Usually as well, if you're buying a tenanted commercial property, you can look at the lease terms because sometimes there'll be incremental increases. Standard, usually there's a rent increase years 3 or 5, and there will also be potential of break options for the tenant, and they need to exercise the break option within 6 months. Commercial property investing is a little bit different from residential, purely because the lending criteria is a little bit different. So what usually happens, the standard progression for an investor is they buy a few residential properties, they build up the residential property portfolio, and then they kind of divert into commercial, purely for the fact that maybe they've had too many tenants complain about things, too many tenants breaking things, and they're just like, it's a little bit too much of a headache. They've generated a good amount of income from their residential portfolio, then they maybe sell that portfolio, get cash and reinvest it into commercial premises. Commercial is valued slightly differently. So if this property was vacant and there was no tenant in place, it's probably worth anywhere between your £60,000 to £70,000. Because this property is tenanted and it's got the annual income's £10,800, the property is probably worth about £110,000 to £125,000. If you had a better tenant, so if it was a better covenant, say there was a Tesco in there, or this is the fucking Apple store, so if it was the Apple store in this and they were paying £10,000 and they had a lease for 10 years, you would probably pay a little bit more because it's a strong covenant. That tenant's not going to go bust, they are going to be there, they're happy, they're trading well. The covenant is always going to be something to look at when you're buying commercial properties. Commercial is not to be overlooked. Transferring over into buying commercial is a good way to diversify your own portfolio so you're not just all in residential property. Excellent! So that concludes our what's on my desk for today. If you are looking to buy commercial, residential or land, go check out primepropertyauctions.co.uk where we have over 200 listings available. So if you're looking to add to your property investment portfolio or you're looking to start your property journey, get on the phone to us, follow us on Instagram, give this video a like, and as always, get hammered.